This is an MSNBC special. Brian Williams reports the Tony Blair interview.
Tell me about your trip back home a few days ago now and your decision to make your announcement. For how long have you really known that this was time?
I think for quite a time back, maybe even over the past couple of years or so.
Years in the making.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years in a job like this is particularly in today's world, and particularly, as you say, with today's concentration, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, of the media coverage and so on. The pressure is intense, and I think there comes a point in time when it's a good thing to be able to put it down, to set it aside. I mean, in your system, obviously, you've got term limits, so there's never any question. The greatest ambition is to serve the 8 years. But for us, you can, in theory, go on. And obviously, I'm at the age when most prime ministers start their time, not finish their time. But I always wanted to leave in circumstances where I felt that it was the right time for me to go, but that I wasn't just going to try and go on and on for, until finally they'll rise up and revolt and chuck you out.
How was today different from other days? How is it different to wake up now and know that the world knows what you've been carrying around for a good long time now, that it's over soon?
Well, I'm not saying I don't think about the aftermath, because of course you do as the day approaches, and you think, well, how's everything going to be sorted out? But truthfully, I'm that busy doing the job that I don't really have a lot of time to think about it. I mean, I was just reflecting earlier today that in these past few months, I don't think I've taken a full day off since probably, many months back. So in a way, you just carry on working up until the last minute, because it's not a job that you can do even 90% of the time. So we'll let the future look after itself.
And what are your thoughts about the future? You're a very young man. You have commented about wanting to concentrate on Africa, an area where you've gotten very involved. Is it perhaps the Bill Clinton model that we'll see Prime Minister Tony Blair following?
I don't know. I mean, there are things that I'm very interested in. I mean, I've always been, obviously I've played a role in respect of Africa and the G8, the historic G8 we had at Gleneagles. There's the climate change issue, that is important for me. But I'm also passionately committed to the Palestinian issue. There's a whole range of things that I would like to do when I leave, and some of which people talk about, for example, some of the interfaith dialogue, which I'm very interested in, which I've tried to do something for whilst I've been Prime Minister. But at the moment, these are things that are up there as possible things to do. But I haven't sat down in any structured way and thought how exactly do I do it, or what am I going to do? And so, I mean, people keep writing about I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and I think if I don't know, how do they know?
Pick up the phone, call them, tell them that's wrong. Words, Mr. Prime Minister, have never failed you, and let's hope there's not a first for everything. Please give me the first paragraph of the summation of 10 years of Prime Minister Blair. How would you like it viewed? What have people gotten wrong? And what have people gotten right?
You're right, words have failed me.
No chance.
I think about that it's, I gave a speech last Thursday. You can go and read it. But
I read it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Thank you. Hand on heart, I did what I thought was right. I may... All these questions about judgment and legacy and all the rest, I'll leave that for other people.
And the part of it that's tied to an American president bothers you not a bit?
Well, I believe our country should be a strong ally of America. And I've never had any problem with that. Never have had any problem with it. I think it'll be a very dark day for my country when we do have a problem with it. And my warning I would say to the rest of the world, but in a sense it's also something to say, I think, to Americans, is that the biggest danger is if America disengages. If it decides to pull up the drawbridge and says to the rest of the world, right, you go and sort it out. No, we need America engaged. We need an America that's prepared to go out into the world and be active.
And so when I'm doing the news the night you walk out of number 10 with your wife and family, the Jaguar pulls up and carries you away, we should know that you are feeling fulfilled.
Well, I don't know that you ever feel fulfilled
Wistful,
in this business.
happy, sad, lucky, fortunate.
I think I will feel that it was a privilege to have had this job, that however difficult the challenges have been, you should never forget that. And you should never do anything other than count yourself blessed to have had the chance to do it. And that whatever the disappointments or even the mistakes, that's for other people to judge, and maybe for me to inquire of my own mind and conscience, but I still think it's an honor to have done the job. And in respect of my relationship with your country, I haven't regretted it, and I don't think even in contemplation that will be one of the things I do regret.
It's been a privilege. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Brian.